was amused that you ate brains.
Hmm?
Who?
Well, funnily enough, I had brains again 10 days ago, but this time it was in Paris having sheep's brains. But the brains masala I had in Karachi, like Pakistani foie gras, really good texture, very meaty flavour, and I'd have them again anytime. I know a lot of people are squeamish about it, but there's a reason why these dishes are on the menu, especially in an upmarket restaurant.
So in addition to the Esquire article, there was another article that explained, it answered several of my questions. So it answered the question about how you got the nickname Prime Mutton.
Well, yeah, it's an oxymoron, really, because mutton can't really be prime, and I think my taste is prime and my body's mutton rather than prime lamb, so...
so mutton actually couldn't be prime?
No, can't be prime. Well, okay, if you Google prime mutton, you will find some farmers in New Zealand and Wales claiming to sell it, but I mean, old sheep, I don't think that's prime. It's like, people when they go, oh, have a rack of lamb, please. No, I'll have a rack of old sheep instead. Possibly not.
And then one of the other questions it answered was, does the Guinness, because a lot of your Prime Mutton is about reviewing Guinness, right? Like,
yeah.
And one of my questions was, is the Guinness better the more that it's flowing at a bar? Which
absolutely, it is a very delicate drink. It needs to flow through the lines, because if it doesn't get stuck in the lines, it goes off ridiculously quickly. And if anybody disbelieves me, I would encourage them to buy a pint of Guinness, leave it for 15 minutes, and then get another one and come back and taste the difference. And you'll often get something that's fresh and tasty versus something manky and sour. Now, if the pub doesn't look after the Guinness, clean the lines regularly, keep the cooler system tight, close to the tap, then you're not going to get a good pint anyway. But assuming they do, it will make a huge difference.
You also said that it depends on, like, you can't, like, washing the glasses in the dishwasher is bad.
Yeah, especially if there's been tea, coffee, food, dairy products, you have to wash them separately. And even, to be honest, washing Guinness glasses where lager or blonde beers have been, that can taint the taste. If you have lines that are used sometimes by blonde beers, again, that can taint the taste as well. It is so delicate. And to get the best pint of Guinness, the pub has to get 1,000,001 things right. And some of these places in Dublin and other parts of Ireland, very complex operation. And most importantly, if their Guinness goes off the boil, Guinness actually come and help them. And now, in fact, in Ireland, every pub that serves Guinness come and clean the lines for them. They don't want the pubs doing it themselves.
Wow. And how did it, I mean, like, I understand how it started, but how did it, like, what was it like? You started doing it. Were you a hit immediately, or?
No, it took a lot of hard work putting up videos, which admittedly were not particularly well filmed, not very well presented, and not very well edited either. And sometimes you would get, I think there's one that's still only got like 100 views or something. But, you get bigger and bigger and bigger, getting better, cutting out the hesitations in speech, actually making sure the camera's pointing in the right direction, making sure you've got the right mics and gimbals and everything like that. And two things really got me going. On YouTube, it was a visit to Real Madrid, where we were winning, and we were 2 goals up with like a minute to go, and Real Madrid got 2 goals nowhere, went in extra time. And the other City vloggers all cut the video off before that, deliberately, out of spite. I just filmed the whole thing. I filmed a good food and drink segment instead of just sitting in the Plaza Mayor like most of the away fans do. And my phone was pinging away with comments and all sorts, 100 and odd thousand viewers very quickly,
Wow.
which for some vloggers is not that big, but
Yeah.
for me it was.
Yeah.
And then the big thing on Instagram was going to the Gravediggers and other pubs in Dublin and reviewing, because there are a lot of people who review Guinness out there, but they don't stray from where they live very much. And the thing is, it's miles better in Ireland, and then people saw me reviewing from there. And it was just this was just a massive stroke of luck. This was City were playing away in Bern, and by far the cheapest way to go was to go to Dublin. So I thought, well, there's somebody who might want me to play a bridge event with them, so I'll go there for a few days and then fly on to Switzerland. And when I was stood in the Gravediggers, I was doing a YouTube clip for this football video, sort of starting it with a twist in a country that's got nothing to do with the match. And I thought, well, I'll do an Instagram reel as well whilst I'm at it. And my Instagram following before that was about 900 followers.
Wow.
And about 3 weeks later, it was up to like 76,000 or something. So I think that qualifies as a viral video.
Yeah. Have you attempted, like when you travel now, like, I don't know, like maybe like on your most recent trip, like how many of your Muttonistas are you meeting up with?
Depends where I am. If I'm in Ireland, it's non-stop, the number of people, and sometimes I announce where I'm going, sometimes I don't. But in the smaller places, word gets around, and it's like the search parties honing in on which pub I'm reviewing. Stuff like railway stations in Britain, an awful lot. Sometimes at airports, particularly, it's mainly people from the English-speaking world, but it happens a bit in other places, particularly if I'm away for the football. Some Italians in Turin, quite a lot of people in Madrid, and there was even a guy in Paris who said, "Are you Monsieur Mutton?" And I said, "Yes," and had a selfie with him. So I mean, there are some places where if I walked around the streets of, say, trying to think of a good example, if I walked around the streets of Milan or something like that on a non-football match day, nobody would know me from Adam. If I were travelling around on public transport in Dublin, it's likely I'd miss my stop at some stage because of people wanting selfies.